What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Travel by Turtles. Christmas is officially over and 2023 is right around the corner. So I know a lot of people are trying to get their travel plans together for what's coming up next year, right? PTOs are resetting, so we'll have some of that time back in our day. So on this channel, I like to give out tips and tricks on how to travel better, places to go. For this season, until the end of the year, we'll just be giving out lots of travel tips. And this video is about how you can travel with just a carry-on. So I know if you've seen a lot of the other videos, we've been talking about how you can save on your travel budget, some of the things that you can do to have a trip go pretty smooth with a larger group. These apply to both those things, right? If you're just traveling with a carry-on, you don't have to worry about somebody in your group getting a travel delay. The other thing is you're going to save a lot of money by just going with a carry-on, especially with a lot of the budget airlines that are out there. Traveling light can save you a lot. Sometimes the cost of a checked bag is actually more than the price of the ticket. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And for me, myself, I only really travel with a checked bag when it's necessary or if it's going to make my life a little easier, right? So when my wife and I travel together, oftentimes we will just take one checked bag. That's one bag to carry. It's going to take up less space if we're taking if we're renting a car. A few different reasons there. But if I'm traveling by myself for like a business trip, or let's say I'm going on a group trip with the fellas, if that's the case, I'm gonna probably take a carry-on. So I guess tip number one on how to travel lighter is going to be your shoes, right? Shoes are a huge thing. They take up a lot of space, a lot of wasted space inside. I know some people recommend like stuffing your shoes with the clothes. I am not a fan of that. I guess you could put your clothes in like a bag first or wrap your shoes. But for me, I just always recommend wearing your shoes that are a little bit bigger on the plane, right? So if you're taking boots for whatever reason, I don't know where you're going, but if you're taking big old boots, wear those on the plane because they're heavy, but they're also going to take up the most space in your carry-on. Shoes that I do put into my carry-on are usually like flip-flops or like slides, just because they compress down, they're flat. You don't really take up any space with those. So anything else like tennis shoes, I'll try and keep on me, just so I'm freeing up a lot of that wasted space. Another huge travel tip is just pack things that look somewhat similar, or like things that you can mismatch. So if you are taking a bunch of different colored shirts and like different colored pants, and your shoes are all different, you're gonna need a lot more space. For me, it's easy because I wear mostly black, white, gray, more of those neutral types of colors. So I can easily switch my shorts with my pants, with my shirts. My hats are pretty much also the same neutral color, so it makes it pretty easy to pack light for me. But if you're somebody who doesn't wear those neutral colors, just make sure that the things that you are packing work together. You'd be surprised at how many different outfits you can make out of just a couple t-shirts and pants. One thing that I always do to save space when I am packing, especially in a carry-on, but even in my check bags, is roll my clothes. You get all the air out. A lot of times if you're ironing it, you won't have to iron it again if you roll them tight enough and make sure that everything stays flat. I know some people will like bundle them as well. So if you've got a bunch of shirts, wrap them together, or even like rubber band them. That kind of keeps things a little bit tighter. Another thing that makes it super easy for me is if I know I'm not going to have time on the trip to figure out the outfit, is pre-roll the outfits. That way you're just picking up a bundle, throwing it on, and you're ready to go. If you are going for an extended period of time, let's say you're staying at an Airbnb or maybe you're at a hotel, just make sure you have access to washer and dryers or some way that you can get your clothes dried or clean. So a lot of hotels do offer this service if you're not opposed to spending the extra money for them to get your clothes together for you. But an Airbnb, more often than not, will have a washer and dryer where you can throw your clothes in and just clean everything up. So you can again pack lighter, knowing that you're going to be able to wash your clothes and rewear them. A big thing that people forget is, like, if you're taking a carry-on onto one of these budget airlines, you can still take your personal item, right? So a lot of women have bigger purses. That counts as your personal item. For me, I always take my backpack. As long as it fits below the seat, it qualifies as your personal item. So take your carry-on and also take your book bag, right? The book bag's always going to be included in this fee, and you can fit almost a lot of the times. I can actually fit in all of my clothes into the book bag, and I don't even need a carry-on. So that's just something to keep in mind. I put my speaker or like my laptop often in this bag. Maybe some of the items that are a little more oddly shaped. That way the carry-on is like kind of packed to the max. I also use packing cubes, right? Those little not Ziploc, they're like mesh and zip, but you can fit a lot of those clothes into the packing cubes as well. And then again, that makes your book bag have even more room inside of it. I have tried traveling as well with like an alternative to the packing cube would be like the vacuum seal bag. I have tried traveling with those. I'm not a big fan because when it's time to travel back, you gotta like find a vacuum or try and like compress it again yourself, push all the air out. But if that's your thing, do it. A lot of times if you're going to stay with friends or family, maybe they'll have like something that they can connect onto it. But if you're traveling by yourself, that might not be a solid option for you. Also, make sure that everything you are packing is like you're able to pack and take onto the plane. So like for carry-ons, you can't take a whole bottle of shampoo. Nothing is worse than like you packed everything super tight and now you're going through TSA and now you've got to unpack it all because you put something that you shouldn't have put in your suitcase. So that not only will save you time in the future, but you're not going to have to figure out how to repack everything while you're going through TSA. I always get those little mini travel-sized reusable like packs. That way you can just refill your shampoos every single time you're going on a trip. Or maybe if you're staying at a hotel, nice hotel, they might have things that you need anyway. So that's always a great tip. If you are going somewhere that's a little bit colder and you're taking a hoodie, maybe wear the hoodie. Or if you are going somewhere where maybe it's not that cold, you don't have to necessarily pack the hoodie, right? Like, or tie it around your waist or something, right? Just pack light, I guess. Choose lighter clothing. I have a hoodie that's like super thin that pretty much folds down to nothing. That's something that I often take on trips myself. Or I'll like swap out my long sleeve shirt with like or just regular t-shirt, or if I am taking the hoodie, right? So you can replace a lot of things with lighter versions of the same thing. I think in one of my other videos I also talked about like layering. So if you are just taking a few t-shirts, if you get cold and you've got that thin shirt, the thin hoodie, you could always throw on a t-shirt underneath, the thin hoodie on the outside, and like maybe another shirt if you need to. But layering is always a great way to save on extra materials. Another thing that I do is when I'm packing, I make a list beforehand and I separate like the things that I absolutely need or the things I would like to have. So my must-haves always go into the bag first. If I got room, maybe I will throw in that extra hoodie or that extra button-up for a night out. But if I don't need it, most of the time I don't use half the clothes I pack anyways. So that's just another great way. Just separate the things that you're going to absolutely need, like the non-negotiables, and then you can oftentimes just shove in the things that would be nice for you to take. I also always I did mention that I don't like packing inside the shoes, but I always put like little things. If I do need to pack, I don't know, like a deodorant or something, I'll stick that into my shoes. Or if I'm taking, I don't know, like a gift and it's already like pre-wrapped, I'll wrap it again with the plastic wrap and throw that in there. I don't like putting clothes in shoes. I think it's kind of gross, but again, make use of your wasted space if you can. If you are packing and you have to take a check bag, right? So getting away from the carry-on, make sure that the suitcase that you're packing is light. You can make a lot more space. That way, or pack heavier things if you are going to have your luggage weighed. Obviously, everybody at this point knows that you have to have a certain weight for the luggage to be able to go. A lot of airlines have even lowered it from below 50 pounds. I know I went on a flight that required, I think it was like 40 pounds. It must have been through like Frontier or something. But things like duffel bags often are light. I like the hard shell cases. But just weigh out everything you've got to try and save on some space over there. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Again, just trying to give you all some tips on how you can save some money. Taking carry-on is often the best way to not only save money, time, but also on space after you get off the flight for your trunk.